BuckeyeHuddle.com. Southern Swing has made it to the state of Florida. Not only have we made it to the state of Florida, we've made it to some Ohio State commits. We've been talking to a lot of targets. We got some commits here. Simeon Caldwell, big-time safety, Jacksonville Bolles School. Simeon, how are we doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Appreciate you guys doing this again this year. Last year was nice, but neither of you were committed. You or Corbin were both uncommitted.
Oh, yeah.
A lot has changed in a year.
Yep.
You've committed. Ohio State's won another national championship.
Yep.
Uncle Tim's got another championship ring on his finger.
Oh, yeah.
I guess first let's start there. What was that like, kind of watching them go on that run?
You know, it was special. You know, especially for it being the first 12-team playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
It was special to see them go through that and just go through the gauntlet that they did. What was it? Tennessee, Oregon, Notre Dame, just all those teams that they had to go through. It was special to watch. Probably in my eyes the best playoff run in history.
And it was dominant.
Oh, yeah.
The Notre Dame game maybe a little bit at the end. The Texas game was close for a while, but just what they did to Tennessee, what they did to Oregon, they were on Notre Dame really early in that game too. How, I guess, impressed or surprised, however you want to put it, were you just with how dominant the effort was?
I want to say it shocked me, but seeing the talent and the coaching that they have, I always knew that they were capable of doing it, and especially in that dominant of a fashion. Mm-hmm. But to actually see it come to tuition was impressive. Yeah, it was very impressive, and for consecutive games of it.
That helped validate your commitment at all? Just watching them do that, just hey, this is what I'm signing up for.
Yes and no. Obviously seeing it just made you feel better about it. Just seeing what they do, but I feel like what made me commit was the culture that they have there. Love all the coaches, and just the environment that they have. It's a environment. I've been up there a few times, and I love it every time I'm up there. So on top of the environment, just having them put on those type of performances on the biggest stage was huge.
Yeah. What can you tell us about that coaching staff? I mean, obviously, Tim Walton's your uncle. Spoiler alert, I think we've talked about that a million times. But what about the other coaches? Kind of made you feel comfortable with Ohio State and just that whole collection of coaching talent?
Coach Guerrieri, me and him have a great relationship. He came down and saw me at my home, I think in January. So it was special. Me and him have a great bond. And then also me getting up in the spring to go meet Coach Patricia for the first time. Being able to just talk with him. He's probably one of the smartest coaches I've known. Being coach for the Patriots, their dynasty, and him informing me about all the stuff that he knows. He sees the game in a different way than a lot of people. So being surrounded by all top caliber coaches, but coaches who also care for you on and off the field, it was special. They have a very special coaching staff. You
kind of beat me to it because everyone's trying to learn more about Matt Patricia right now. And it's interesting because the one thing I've said to a few guys is I wasn't sure what recruiting impact he might have, what he would do in recruiting. Sometimes they bring in coordinators, and it's just kind of you need to fix our offense or our defense. You don't necessarily let the position coaches do a lot of the recruiting. He seems very hands-on.
Oh yeah. No, he's definitely hands-on. Me and him talked a few times over the phone, and he's someone that once you get to know him, he's a great person to be around. I loved spending time with him when I was up on my visit. So he's a great coach, and I know when I get up there next year that I'm going to enjoy being up there.
I know we've asked you this before. You're probably still, I don't know if you're still figuring this out, but position-wise, next level, where do you think you're going to start? What have the conversations been about maybe your fit in the defense?
As of right now, I want to say starting off more once I get on campus, probably safety. Once I get up on campus, I know that I've been talking to the coaches about that for first time stepping on campus. That's where they see me, but they do still see me playing linebacker sometime in the future if my body grows there. So they have a plan for me if I stay safety size, if I grow to linebacker size, or if I just walk on campus linebacker size. They have a plan for everything. They are a very versatile defense. They use their players in in a variety of different ways. So they have a spot for me no matter what.
Look, you'll figure that out. That's not, that's a year down the road or more, but just watching Sonny Styles, the transition he made from safety to linebacker, Does that give you a little extra confidence, like if that's the path you have to go, like they've done that already with a guy? Does that give you a little more added confidence to if that's how it has to go?
Oh yeah, no. You know, seeing someone go through what I possibly can go through is definitely reassuring. You know, it's not untreaded water. Someone has done it before, and especially at the same school with a lot of the same coaches, they've done it. So it's very reassuring to see someone go through it. And then, you know, just I'm a ball player, so you know, even I just got to go make plays no matter what. You know, no matter what spot they put me in. You know, so. You know, I just got to go out there.
I can attest to that. I've watched you over the last 2 years go to camps and do linebacker, do safety. I've watched you do a lot of things both out here in the camp circuit. So you seem to really embrace the versatility and not be so, I guess, closed-minded to trying new things or challenging yourself in different ways. So I think that'll be something that does help you at the next level. What's it like being with, you know, you're going to have to be stuck with Corbin?
Yeah, I got a few more years with Corbin.
Oh,
so
gosh,
it's great.
I'm sorry.
You know? Oh no, Corbin! I love Corbin. You know, he's probably one of my favorite teammates. He always brings the energy every day. You know, he's someone that the team can get behind. You know, he's always leading our team breaks. He's just a very likable person. You know, on and off the field. You know, me and him went up to Ohio State together, staying in the same hotel room, and just being around him off the field also is very special. Once you get to know him, he'll be one of your favorite guys that you ever meet 100%. And, you know, being able to go to Ohio State with him for a few more years, 3 to 4, is very special, and I look forward to it.
He walked pretty far away. I think you can tell the truth now. He's down there pretty far now.
Oh, yeah.
He can't hear you anymore. Okay? He's going to tell us the truth now. How bad?
I said everything that's true.
What your own game, like what are some things this offseason, especially with you being multi-positional, what are some areas of improvement you're trying to think about this offseason as you try and get prepared for your senior year?
You know, I definitely just want to dominate all aspects of the game more, you know, whether that be coverage, man coverage, zone coverage, run fits, defeating blocks, just everything. You know, you're never perfect. There's always room for improvement. So just improving every aspect of my game because, you know, going into Ohio State, you know, day one, you know, you may have to line up against Jeremiah Smith. So, you know, just being able to prepare for that and just be ready for it because you never know what you're going to be able to do. So just preparing myself in all aspects of the game, getting bigger, faster, stronger, just getting ready for not only my senior year but also knowing what I have in store in college.
Well, then let me ask you something that no one has been able to answer yet. How would you guard Jeremiah Smith?
I would say just like any other person, you know.
With a baseball bat?
No, you know, Jeremiah Smith is a freak of nature. Don't get me wrong. Jeremiah Smith is a freak of nature. Best receiver in college football, hands down. But you know,
you can't let it.
You can't let it go to your head. You know,
I see what you're saying.
He puts his shoes on, socks on the same way everyone else does. So you know, obviously you got to respect the stuff that he does, and you know it in the back of your head what he's capable of. But you can't let that change how you play him. Yeah. So you just have to go in with that mindset of, you know, he's fast, he's big, he's strong, he's all those things. But, you know, I know what I've worked for. I know all the technique that I've been taught. So you just got to stick to your fundamentals, stick to your basics. That's kind of like in big games. You don't get to a national championship and change what you've been doing just because it's a national championship. You stick to what you know all throughout. And, you know, what got you to that point is going to get you through it.
So as someone, you come from a coaching family, coaches all over your family, kind of a self-described football nerd. You like to study football. You're really into this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
What is it like watching Caleb Downs play the safety position?
It's special. Yeah. It's very special. You know, he's also one of those freaks of nature, how athletic he is. But what I like to watch, especially because he plays my position, is his game instincts. It kind of seems like he knows what's going to happen before it happens. His communication pre-snap, his communication post-snap, the way he moves. If you watch his game, no false steps. You know, every single move he does is with a purpose. So that's what makes him the great player that he is. You know, on top of being a freak of nature athlete, he's also probably one of the smartest players that you'll ever watch at that position. So being able to watch that special, and you know, hopefully when I enroll early, I get to spend a few months with him before he goes off, and hopefully learn some of the things that he knows.
When might you, kind of lastly, get you wrapped up, get you out of here, but when might you get back up to Ohio State? Would it be maybe a June camp to work out, or would it maybe be more like the Texas game, or what have you?
I have my
official.
I have my official schedule the 20th through 22nd.
Okay.
I think that'll be the next time I'm up there. Definitely going to go to a few games this year.
Yep.
Don't know what games. They play Saturday and we play Friday night. So Florida to Ohio, that's a tough trip, especially if it's a noon game.
Yep.
But definitely going to make some games. But I think the official visit is the next time as of right now.
Well, we appreciate you doing this again.
Yes,
good luck here as you go through spring and continue your training regimen and everything else. And good luck and have fun on your official visit.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you for the trip to the Sunshine State.
Yes, sir. Every year, man. We love coming down here. You guys are the best.
Oh, yeah.